All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luther, and none other than Morgan Sneaker Room. Guys, we would like to let you guys know that we have a special guest, 99 Products. And guys, we would like for you to introduce yourselves, give us something that you do and your title within the company.
What's up, y'all? My name is Royce Paris. I work at 99 Products on the storytelling side, so more along the lines of content creation, drafting out the vision for the brand.
My name's Jream. I'm on the design side of 99 Products, making shoes that hopefully people love.
I like it. I like it. So me and Morgan just got our pairs in. I went with the Golda in the wheat colorway and the Carver in the composite colorway. Morgan, what pairs did you get?
I got the Carver in the composite colorway as well, and I got the Point in the bubblegum colorway.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I thought about getting the Point, but I don't know. I was feeling the Goldas a little better.
Yeah, it was crazy because you sent me the link and was like, "Yo, just pick two shoes and they're gonna send them to you." And I think it's crazy we both picked this sneaker right here. Like this, I think this is like, I don't know. This seems like a very ambitious product from you guys. Like, what was the idea behind the Carver?
Yeah, definitely ambitious, definitely eye-catching. I think when we were coming up with new styles about a year and a half ago, a lot of the references that we were looking at and that we thought were really interesting were like early running shoes from the early 2000s. So they had all the overlays and tiny little details and kind of that super unique language, and they were all on running toolings, and we had the thought to do something similar to that but on a cupsole, just because it'll be a little more wearable, a little more durable, and so that's how the design of the Carver came about.
So like, what's the insight on the storytelling part of the Carver?
Yeah, so the name comes from George Washington Carver,
Okay.
the legendary innovator.
Yeah.
And I think the model itself, we wanted it to stand for uniqueness and individuality. I think that shoe is really eye-catching, and
100%,
whenever you walk out the house, like somebody's gonna stop you, ask you where you got them from, or even just like turn their heads, and they're really gonna ask about that shoe. And I think that shoe is that's exactly what we wanted it to be. Something that you walk out the house and it's like, this is the centerpiece of my fit. So I think it does a good job of that.
I put an outfit together for a video with this sneaker, and that's exactly what I
trash.
said.
Beautiful shoe, but that fit was trash. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, more.
And that's crazy. You got a new haircut, bro, and you just talking different. Talking crazy in front of company, man.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, like, I mean, this is definitely a sneaker where the sneaker has to be the centerpiece of the entire outfit. Every time I look at it, I see something different. Like, I was just looking at it and I noticed you got some like 3M on the lace loops right there. Just little details like that. And that's what I really, really like about you guys is that it's not like there's a lot of subtle details that you guys put into the sneaker. Even your logo, the two boxes or the two squares with 9 dots, like, I think that's a clever way to have your name put on there. So yeah, I really enjoy this shoe right here. And I'm curious about the Point. This is a shoe that I'm having a tough time styling because it is so pink. I think this is definitely going to be a sweatpants type of sneaker. But tell me a little bit about the Point. Like, what was the idea behind the Point? What was your inspiration? Clearly, I think the 2000s runner again. But tell me about this shoe.
I'll start a little bit. Just going back into the Carver too. I know when we are talking about branding and storytelling, like, it's always like people focused. We talked about uniqueness and like giving people like, the ability to express their creative expression, right? To express themselves creatively. So when we give people the shoe, it's like as you know, like this shoe is like coming out now. So it's interesting to see what people like do with it, right? Like it has a feel to it. It feels like it has a real like tough mold. Like when you grab it, it feels like a real shoe. Like could be designed
Yeah.
right. I get a lot of
Yeah.
questions on it. Like, is that like a Prada shoe? Like, what is that kind of thing? And I think that's the point to like kind of catch attention, but also like let the people like bring what they bring to the shoe as well. And the colors from the first point is like that as well. Wow. What I was going into is to the point shoe. I think it kind of starts there too, like from the people. I remember when we first, some of the concepts or campaigns that we built around the point were around helping essential workers and celebrating the people who help people. I think that was like a big touch point for just some marketing around the point, especially the timing around when the shoe was released. It was released before 2020, but also in 2020, there was a lot of marketing around helping essential workers and working with education and a lot of that sort of work. It was nice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think what I truly like about the designs, the silhouettes that we've been talking about right now, the Carver and the point is how they are very unique but simple at the same time. Like me, I'm a very simple person. Like I rarely like do
I hear
something
how we
super.
talk.
I rarely have like something like overly flashy, and if it is, it's usually my shoes. Like it's usually just one thing out of my outfit that's super flashy. But with the silhouettes that I chose, like it's like they're very eye catching, but yet they're very subtle. And that's what I really like. That's one of my favorite things about just the brand in general. Because looking at the other silhouettes and other designs, that's what I get from each pair. Morgan, you had something to say?
My bad.
Bro went
So yeah,
blank.
so you got the golden. I think what you were telling me about the golden was that
Yes, sir.
that it's designed to be kind of deconstructed and then reconstructed, right?
Yeah.
I really like, I mean, the storytelling in the shoes, like that is 100% what this podcast is about
Yeah.
is the storytelling. And my question is what I mean, it's clear you guys are all about making an impact in the community, but what is the reason that you guys chose shoes to do it with?
Great question. I think personally, shoes are a great vehicle for so many different things and so many different conversations and businesses and industries. Like you could talk to athletes, talk to entertainers. Like Royce was mentioning, you can talk to teachers and educators, small business owners through shoes. And there's just so many different avenues that you can touch when you work through shoes. I think also my parents worked in shoes. When I moved to New York at like 10 years old, I knew nothing about shoes. And when I got here, I was like exposed to so many different brands and so many different stylish people moving from Oregon to New York. So there was something about sneakers that always, like from early days, kind of inspired me and made me like look twice at shoes in a way that I had never really looked at them before. So I think there's something about shoes that are just so interesting and so universal, because no matter what you do, you got to wear shoes to do it. And I think that's kind of why I'm so attracted to them.
I like that.
Best part of the
before
fit.
99 products. Sorry, my bad. Before 99 products, what sneakers were you guys wearing?
Me, I'm from New York City. Like I grew up in Harlem. Like we dress feet first. Like we was dressed in shoes.
Yeah.
It was just white tees for a whole period of my life and good shorts and sneakers that all the sneakers that like type. I felt like I had them all. But I think more so before 99, I feel like I've been going through a shoe taste in like the last 3-4 years. I haven't bought a lot of sneakers. I bought a lot of shoes like loafers, boots. So I've kind of been changing my taste, and I think that's kind of happened as I transitioned out of like playing basketball. Stopped like wearing basketball shoes a lot. I still wear them. I still have like some of my old joints that I like to pull out, but I really like Blackstock and Webbers. I feel like those are I purchased the most pair of those in like the last year. But now that we have 99 and we got multiple joints out, Like I know what I'm wearing
Yeah,
tomorrow.
if Royce isn't wearing 99s, he's stepping out in some loafers.
I
Friday,
like it. I
Saturday
like it.
night,
Yeah,
game over.
Got
Jream,
my
what are you
Daytona
wearing?
right now.
I like it. I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask. So, like, is there any like samples or exclusives that like only you guys have that like that hasn't been like mass produced that you guys are just kind of looking at and y'all just kind of wear them around the city and have people looking at your feet.
There's definitely a decent amount of that stuff.
Okay.
There's like a bunch of different colorways of the Carver that we sampled that we actually didn't end up making, but I mean, probably we should start teasing that and like wearing them around, maybe tease them on
Yeah.
Instagram and see if people are
Yeah.
interested.
Yeah.
And then we've got a bunch of colors of the gold and the promise too. So there's some stuff hidden away in the vault. So thank you for bringing that up.
The newer sneakerheads, they love that 101. They love that being exclusive but yet being like everyone else, but yet having that 101. So like being that 101 of an established brand, they're like, yeah, I got the 101, and it just sends it through the roof.
One other thing I was going to mention, just to add to your question about why we chose shoes, and it kind of displays in what we did with the Reinvention Lab. But the shoes like make a great canvas to tell a story. So like we did a project with Reinvention Lab where we go into to schools and let them literally. It's like a branding exercise for the school to kind of take their shot at telling their story on the shoe. So now every part of the shoe,
okay, that's dope.
Yeah, every part of it should mean something, right? So now the colors mean something about your school and what is important to your school, and using the sneaker as a canvas in that way. And I think it's one thing that we definitely want to do more, and an excellent reason why shoes is like a great platform to tell stories with.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Sneakers is that common ground, man, for everyone. Like you said, like everybody needs sneakers. There may be people that don't really drive a lot, so they might not have cars, they may not be in cars, but like everybody has to wear a pair of shoes. So there's always, looking at different styles that suit someone, or like, that's that common ground. Like there's a lot of people that I can talk sneakers with, but I can't talk other things with, So that's why I feel like sneakers is definitely a great way to bring people together and, have that common conversation, that common ground where we're all talking sneakers and our backgrounds and everything else doesn't matter. We just talking sneakers. That's what really matters right now.
No doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So another question I had was, what is your life with sneakers like outside of 99? Like where are we at now? Like where, or what was it before 99?
That's
Like, what
funny
does
that you
sneakers
asked
mean to
me
you? Yeah.
because right now I just got a new pair of shoes for my new hobby.
All right, let's see it.
Which is why I'm bouncing around, because I'm
Okay.
breaking these rock climbing shoes in.
Okay.
And this has taken over my life over the past like year and a half.
Yeah.
I think rock climbing, cycling, football, basketball, kind of like every different sport
Right.
I've played over the past like 10, 15 years, they all have such unique fashions. And I think whether it's the shoes themselves or just like the accessories and how the players and the athletes style themselves, I think that's something that's always been a super big inspiration for me.
Yeah.
There's a designer, E. Scott Morris, who worked at Nike back in the day, who would do these like drawings of athletes as superheroes, and he would do like Michael Vick as some like superhero doing his like football pose, running with the ball with these crazy shoes. He's got like shoulder pads and a helmet that makes him look larger than life. And I think maybe rock climbing isn't as cool as football, and there's no Michael Vick, but like all these different arenas have really cool, interesting ways that they style themselves. And I think the footwear has always been a big part of that.
So do you do the bouldering? Do you do the bouldering where it's like you're not tied to anything?
Yeah. I'm scared of heights, so
yeah, I can't do that.
Anything over 15 feet, I'm out on that.
Yeah, of course Morgan knows. He knows about it. But first thing is first, man. If anybody ever tells you that rock climbing is boring or is not as exciting as football, no, it's in the title, rock climbing, bro. I would not even. Yeah, I'm not rock climbing on anything, especially not without a rope. I do want to go skydiving. I hope to do that for my birthday coming the end of this year.
Interesting.
But yeah, yeah, that I mean, rock climbing, yeah. And I'm from North Carolina. We have mountains out here. We got fields and all that good stuff. And I'm still not climbing a rock. I might climb a tree, but I'm not going up a rock climbing.
It's funny. No rock climbing, but skydiving.
I know, right? It's crazy. That's that flex mentality, man. I promise you, I'm always moving backwards and forward at the same time. But another thing I wanted to talk about was on the insole. So like on both shoes that I have, the Golden and the Carver, we have this quote, "Move with meaning." So like, what does that mean? What is the meaning behind that, and why is it so important to you guys?
Right. I think like moving meaning is important. Uh, one, because it describes the process, and then it describes what's important. Right. So the way you move with meaning, what is the thing that you do, and why is that thing special, and then how do you do it? Um, I think that's like the big umbrella term for moving with meaning, and going back to that storytelling aspect of going back of being about the individual. We want to highlight the ways that people move, and then how that's important to them, and how that's important to the world, and telling those unsung stories is why like ways in which we want to stand out from like other brands who may just go after the cool stuff, like working with bigger
Yeah,
celebrities and stuff. But I feel like there's a lot of stories that don't get told because those stories aren't being like sought out. And we like to tell those stories.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel I noticed that you guys are doing a lot of things with really the community, but like overall, like just looking at you guys social media, I seen that y'all did the whole giving away the sneakers to the kids in Harlem. Then y'all talk about the giveaway y'all did for the nurses and stuff like that. Is that kind of like tied into the movement meaning and just kind of that message that you're trying to send?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think what those people that we have partnered with are all moving with meaning in their respective fields, especially in education.
I think the one thing I would add to that is just being thoughtful and intentional. There's a lot of people both in our community and outside of our community,
Yeah.
whether it's Harlem or
Mhm.
farther than Harlem, that are doing interesting things and making inspirational change, whether it's the nurses or the teachers, or whether it's, I don't know, a person down the block doing a bake sale or
Absolutely.
doing fundraising for whatever cause. So
And
I think those are the
I
kind of people
feel
that we want to get our shoes on.
absolutely. I feel like what you guys doing and your brand and the meaning is necessary. Like
Mhm.
right now I feel like everyone is kind of like so divided. The past few years have like divided a lot of there's been division. And we need something to kind of bring, the community, and I'm not even saying like sneaker community, just people in general to come together and talk about things. We got the
Yeah.
Apple Vision Pro that just dropped, and now it's cool, it's dope, lovely, but just thinking about that you can be in your room and your phone is already disconnecting you, but now you can do this and do that, and it's right in front of you. You don't have to leave the room. You got DoorDash, you got Amazon. They drop your food off. You're working remote. Like the whole social or being sociable is like becoming non-existent to me. At least that's how I feel. Currently.
Mhm.
So
That's
yeah,
that's it.
that's different. Yeah.
I was gonna say the point came back to me. I was trying to tap back into one of the reasons why uh, the gold is deconstructed and how that plays into community. Uh, is trying to literally combat that point, right? Like
Yeah.
people are kind of moving more antisocial, and this is like you should know that there's someone in your community who can put your shoe back together. I didn't even know that there was
Mhm.
a cobbler
Uh,
in my community, let alone know that I could go in there and get my shoes like fixed or just made or taken apart. Anything to just look at the parts and
yeah,
pieces
yeah,
of
yeah.
it. And it's just about that, just understanding like, yo, there's people around you who can put your shoes together and go see who that is and meet them and spend time with them. That's it.
Just to piggyback on that, like I thought like a cobbler or someone that repairs shoes is like non-existent. Like I didn't even think that was, unless you're like in a more smaller town, less people. Like I I can't tell you the nearest person that can repair my sneakers besides Valley Boy Kicks.
I thought you were gonna say a cobbler was a dessert.
Like
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
That peach cobbler.
It could have been.
yeah. Morgan's hungry. He
Look.
paid his bills. He's hungry, eating up the Cheez-Its. It's all good, man. It's all good.
I like the message that you guys have, and I like that you guys are kind of, you're putting it out there through sneakers, because the message is one that I really love. I coach tennis, I coach kids, and it's really important to me with, like you said, Dream, you said being intentional and being thoughtful. Those are words that I use every single day with the kids. But then also we're doing it on a sneaker, which, that's my second love. So that is how, you guys are really, really speaking to me with these sneakers that you guys have created. I'm curious how you guys got to how you guys met each other. How did you guys get to become 99?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know where we start. You want to start there? I'll start.
You can take this
Because I feel like we got it's two separate. I feel like there's two separate stories to how we got to 99.
Yeah.
For me, in 2019, I was coming back from playing basketball overseas, and that was like pretty much my relationship with sneakers. More so, like I was performance, and then also that separate side of performance with basketball is like lifestyle. You wear your shoes to play ball in, but like you also put a fit together with them. And the basketball players, like it's either you going to the club or you got sweatpants on. I feel like that was kind of my relationship with sneakers. But in 2019, I came back and I was working with a colleague of mine, photo editing, and he told me about Jeff and Jeff's sneaker designer. They had already started 99, but they only had the point at that point. The branding and messaging was there. Working with essential workers, and I got hired as a content creator. March 2020. This was the first week, 2020. I literally met Jeff and other members of our team at one of our workspaces uptown in Harlem. And then a week later, we go into lockdown. And we literally like have to regroup and find out what we're going to work on. 99 kind of took a backtrack that year, I felt like, because we were kind of working on some other things, but we were still pushing. There was a lot of like essential worker push storytelling going on around 2020. That's kind of how I got started with A&M, and ever since then it's kind of been like building baby step by baby step, and now it's been 4 years. Like it's 2024, and it feels like it's been 8 in regards to how close we are, but it's been lovely, and that's kind of how I got it.
I think 2020 was a setback for everybody. 2020 was a reality check, a setback, everything. At that time, I had my own small business where I was selling apparel from like third parties. I was kind of trying to be like just a store, but like I sold other brands. And I was self-funding, and I had a ton of like product at the time, and I was doing pretty good. I had my first good month. And again, we went on lockdown. People started hoarding money. Nobody was going out, so nobody was buying anything. And I just didn't have the exposure and to like in the audience to back me while I went through that, because I was self-funding. So I had a ton of capital. I'm just sitting on a bunch of clothes and no one's buying it. And, so there's nothing going in or going out. So there's no outcome. There's no income. So there's no outcome at the same time. So yeah, so just for y'all to keep the ball moving within 2020 and that setback that that we faced, that lets me know how dedicated you guys are as as a brand and as a as a group and a company.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel really lucky to have been able to been working with Royce and the crew on, like you said, some 99, but then other outside clients where we get to practice designing shoes, telling stories, creating interesting things that people will feel some sort of attachment to. Because I think, like Royce said, it's felt like 8 years, even though it's been like almost 4 years. And I think working with the A&M crew on 99 and other stuff has been just super fulfilling. So this is my shout out to Royce, even though he can't hear me.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know, and if this is an offline conversation, all good. But like, what's the next model? Like, what's the next what's the next thing that's coming out with you guys? What's the next bit of storytelling?
Next model.
I could tell. Yeah, he's
we've
debating.
got. I know, right? I feel like we got to tease something. Next model. There's a second iteration of the project that we did with Teach for America that Royce mentioned earlier, the Future Learning Challenge. So for this edition, we came up with an entirely new silhouette and gave that to the students, the teachers, and the education organizations to use as their canvas. So that's going to be a whole new style coming relatively soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Teach for America, man.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't get it.
Yeah, back in the day.
I thought I was going to be a teacher.
You still teaching, bro.
Teach for America, man.
I like it. I like it. So when you guys do things like this, you know, these projects that you do, like, are y'all working with the, how can I say it, the organization? Like, are y'all working hand in hand with the other organization? Or is this kind of like something that y'all reach out to them and y'all just do it?
They actually reach out to us specifically for this one. They reach out to us because they were looking to do something for their partner organizations that they couldn't provide funding to. And so they wanted to do something with sneakers, but they didn't really know what. So they sent us actually a tweet and they were like, yo, we should collab. We don't really know what we're going to do, but let's do something. Yeah. So we had a conversation with them, ended up coming up with the Future of Learning Challenge. And I feel like I want to say it's been a success. We did a second year. So hopefully people are messing with it. And we get to do a third year sometime soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where does this, I got to know, where does this passion from, or how do I, because I'm trying to get this type of passion out of my tennis players, and not just with tennis, but like with anything. Where does this passion for giving back, supporting the community, where did this cultivate from?
I think for me, and with my story and how I integrated with them, this is something that I kind of held dear, close to me, and then understanding that working with 99, that I could work with shoes and do that, was like hit out the park for me. And I also think that you also learn by teaching. So when you're giving back, you're also giving to yourself. As you do others, you also do for yourself. So that's always been my motto. So there's always going to be some sort of community aspect to something I do. I'm at least trying to build it to end that way if it doesn't start that way. And at 99, it was kind of already being built. So it was kind of like we just hopped on and was like, oh, okay, like this kind of is going in the same direction I'm going.
So it seems like it was like a right place, right fit, right time for you. Yeah, absolutely. Royce. Where were you playing overseas basketball at?
I was in Dublin, Ireland. Yeah.
Did you play ball in college?
Yeah, I played ball in college at Skidmore College.
He's a sports fanatic over here.
I'm a huge sport man. I love sports, man. I love sports. I can talk all day.
He's probably watching the Pro Bowl right now.
Isn't it? It's turned into like what, dodgeball and flag football and stuff, right?
Yeah. You're not messing with that? I think that's so much more fun.
That's
all
so
the games.
I think it's cool.
That's like hilarious.
I could tell you if you go back and watch some of our other podcasts, you'll see me like look up like that, and I've got a playoff game on. I've got a Pacers game. I'm a big Pacers fan. I'm in Indianapolis. So I'm a big.
Good year for you though. They having a decent year.
Really good year. Who do you like again, Flex?
I'm not even gonna tell you because I know you finna be on me. Go ahead, finish your story, man, before you forget your train of thought. Go ahead.
I am about to lose
Floor
my
is
train
yours.
of thought.
Floor is yours.
But oh my gosh, what was I gonna say?
We were talking
That's
Pro
that Pacer.
Bowl.
That's that Pacer fan brain right there.
No, yeah, but I'm a sports fanatic, man. But yeah, I'm cool on the Pro Bowl games. I liked when they did the stuff like back in the early 2000s, where they would come out there in some shorts and a t-shirt and see how far they can throw football and stuff like that. I like that stuff. Are you watching it now?
No, it's actually my roommates are actually watching it in the living room right now.
Oh, for real?
So if you hear him yelling, that's probably about something happening in the Pro Bowl.
Look,
It's passion.
the Colts are terrible this year, so I'm done with football until next year. So, Dream, are you an Oregon sports person or are you a New York sports person?
My sports affiliation is weird. I root for Oregon in most sports,
Mhm.
and then I also root for North Carolina State because that's where I went to college. So
Okay. So
it's like
Wolfpack.
Oregon #1, NC State #2,
Okay.
and then like a bunch of random teams like Ohio State because my family's from Ohio, and
Yeah.
that's actually kind of it. Oregon, NC State, Ohio State.
What about professionally?
Professionally, I don't really have any teams I root for actually.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
don't know
Okay.
why.
It's all
I never
good,
caught
man.
on.
Come join the Indiana Pacers bandwagon, man. Come join. As long as you're not a Knicks fan. Royce, are you a Knicks fan?
Unfortunately, I'm not a Knicks fan. No. I'm not a Knicks fan.
Oh,
I
good.
like Kyrie Irving. I kind of go where he goes. So I'm with Dallas
Okay.
right now.
I got you. I like Kyrie too. Flex is so lost right now.
No, I'm not. I know who Kyrie Irving is. I know who the Knicks is, bro. So, I mean, I watch sports, but I'm like not into it to the point where I'm like saving up money or like trying to go to the All-Star weekend or like.
Which is in Indianapolis.
So there's a game that I do want to go to,
Yes.
which is this
Nice.
month. That's the Lakers is coming to Charlotte, and they're gonna be playing the Hornets. So I hope to attend that one. You know what? I think it's like next week. Wow.
You know who's playing the
but
Hornets
yeah,
today? The Pacers.
I don't. Hornets is not my team,
Oh, yeah.
so I don't care.
Sounds like an easy
I went
dub
to
for you.
I went to school with Gordon Hayward, man.
Right,
I
Butler?
heard you told me that.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
No, I went to
Yeah.
high school. We were on
Oh,
the
high
tennis
school, high
team
school.
together. Yep.
You played tennis?
I coach tennis, man. I'm a professional tennis coach.
He's a
Fire.
monster that plays tennis.
Bro,
Does that sound?
nice.
Did that go together? Well, a monster that plays tennis. He's just out there. Tennis. Oh
Man.
no.
So
but,
back to Dream, right? Where do you find this passion, and this motivation? Especially you were talking about during COVID. How do you maintain this motivation to get up every day and one, be a part of a sneaker company? Because it seems like if it's not Nike, New Balance, Adidas, right? Like it kind of gets passed off. But how do you find the motivation to continue telling the story through sneakers and making your impact through sneakers?
That's a great question. I feel like I don't want to let a unique opportunity go. And I feel like I'm lucky to be in this position where I get to work for, like you said, a small brand that's doing sneakers. It's not Nike, it's not Reebok, it's not Adi. And I think we can create our own point of view on why we exist. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far for the past few years. And I think just putting the work in to keep cultivating that storytelling and keep bringing people interesting voices, interesting people, and interesting stories is the biggest reason why I keep working with Royce and 99 and everybody on the team. And then plus just getting to work with the team. Like we were in a meeting the other week and I think the consensus was that we don't really know why we're all attracted to 99, but like we could be doing anything. And if we get to work with each other, we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, I like it.
I like
it definitely sounds like it's more of that passion, the love for it. And I feel like that's what makes things more successful. That's what makes things easy when you love it, when you actually enjoy doing it. You're not really the reward is that you're able to do it, that you're doing it with the people that you're comfortable doing it with, and you just love creating with these people. So I know you guys have big things in store because that is a great foundation to have for a brand, a company moving forward. So definitely keep that, if you lose anything else, keep that family theme that y'all got, that family love that you got. I can feel it all the way over here in North Carolina.
Me and Dream, we have a strong connection in the love
I
department.
love it.
Yeah.
Ways.
I mean, one of the things I really, really like about you guys is that, you know, every time we hear about an independent sneaker business, or a new sneaker company coming out, it is always some sort of, it's a bootleg, it's a, you know, trying to push the intellectual properties laws as much as they can. And what you guys do is just so different than that. That's one of the reasons I'm so attracted to what you guys do, is like, one, storytelling, right? I can't get over the storytelling. It's my favorite thing about sneakers. It's why I'm in it. But also is that it's a unique, I mean, I think me and Flex both got this shoe because it is so unique and it looks different than anything else that's out there. So, I mean, that is, I just want to commend you guys on being able to do that. Is, you know, have a sneaker company that, when you've got so many imitations, right? Everything in the sneakers is like an imitation game. And you guys are doing something totally different and totally unique and essentially starting from scratch, right? Like, you guys are making the blueprint of what you guys want to create. I think that's huge for me.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks. Thank you.
Question to you guys, to Royce. I know you say you're on the part of the content creation kind of. Are you the one handling like the whole social media, like what's posted, what's not posted? You know, who you guys are reaching out to, not reaching out to?
No, it's a team effort. I think, you know, Dream has a lot of say so on that. We kind of combine heads and
Okay.
like, yeah, we do run everything through our group as well. But we are like in real time, like coming up with, you know, how it's gonna like roll out. But it's a team
okay.
effort. But I think Dream is like taking the lead on that though, for sure.
Okay. So, do y'all guys have any insight on like why reach out to Soul Brothers? As
I think we love your platform. I think
like it,
you guys are engaging. Just the conversation that we had now,
I don't remember say.
even before this, like
Uh-huh.
when it wasn't working and we had to redo the whole
yeah.
intro, like just
Yeah.
I feel like
Nah, hey,
meshed. My bad.
Flex
I
doesn't
edit
need
that out. I
everybody
edit
to
that
know
out.
his Wi-Fi went out. Flex
Look,
doesn't need
so
to.
guys, understand that Morgan we had to stop the podcast, and Morgan had to call AT&T and let them know to cut his Wi-Fi back on because we could not. He was messing up the whole thing. But you know, I was
I
gonna keep
had
that
to
on the
reset
wrap.
I had to reset the router.
He bought a new pair of shoes and couldn't afford the Wi-Fi for the month. You know, it happens.
He had to
Gotta
get the
your priorities
99s.
straight.
I had
There
to
we
get the
go. So look.
99s. I had to get the Goldas. I saw the outfit you put together with the Goldas Flex, and I was like, oh, I could definitely do better than that. So I had to get a pair.
Huh. I wonder how you seen that. Let me know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. But yeah, we appreciate that you know you guys that we stuck out to you guys because you know we're trying to be authentic as possible. You know, that's how we're trying to separate ourselves is just being authentic. I listen. I don't know if Morgan does, but I listen to any other podcast I possibly can. All sneaker podcasts. I'm seeing what I dislike about that podcast, what I like about that podcast, and I kind of, you know, give my own twist and just apply it to ours. And one of the things that I noticed that kept me engaged was just being authentic, keeping that engagement going, and you know, it doesn't sound scripted or anything like that. So we just, you know, we just hop in here, man. We get, you know, we start talking and we just feed off each other's energy, pause, and we're good.
Yeah, man. I think authenticity is it for now because you know it's the same. I think it's the similar conversation to what you were saying before. Is like that was just similar to what you were saying about counteracting that antisocial by going back into neighborhoods and bringing people together. It's the same analogy.
I like it. So if you guys, you know, have like what is the vision for 2024? What is 2024 looking like? We're a month in. What is it looking like for 99 products and moving forward?
I actually was telling Royce this like a month or two ago, kind of as a joke, but also kind of seriously. I was like, I don't want to design shoes anymore. I kind of want to just be a journalist and not worry so much about the shoes, but the people that are wearing the shoes and their stories and who they are and just anybody and anyone. So we just started this program called Footprints where we're going to do just that and ask people interesting questions about shoes, about non-shoe stuff, just to
Okay.
kind
I
of
like
shout
that.
out people in the 99 community and just people that have interesting stories to tell.
You ever catch
I like
people
that.
wearing your products out in the wild? Like they don't know who you are, you don't know who they are, and you just catch them out there in the wild?
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
that's got to be a good feeling.
It's
That's got to
it's
be.
just like it's a moment like what? Where did you find out or get
Yeah.
Yeah.
these? Like, it's an interesting moment, especially with before we released the shoes that came out this year and the last couple of months. The other shoes are all like pretty bright, right? The points, the yellow,
Right.
the
Yeah.
chalk, and the pink. So you can see somebody from a long distance and be like, I know those are the pink points, but like, who is that wearing them? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I grabbed the point too, because I was like, this is a crazy bright pink color, and I like being the center of attention. So
you're gonna get some questions on that one for sure. And you can play tennis in them.
I should.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what?
Oh,
That's not a
yeah.
bad
That'll be dope.
idea.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
That's not a bad
Yeah.
idea.
They said you was a
It
monster,
fits the
man.
personality and everything.
I like pink, man. What can I say?
Shit.
I mean, yeah, I like pink too. Yellow's my favorite color.
Is it?
Hey,
So-
can you not tell?
So when you see somebody wearing some of your products, do you stop them, or do you just like you make a mental note and keep it moving?
I always stop people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like random people at the grocery store. I was at a bar once and there were people walking out and I was like, yo, can I just ask you a quick question about these shoes that I know you don't know who I am, but I work for the brand, and they're always like, oh my gosh, these shoes are great, blah, blah, blah. So
Like,
what's usually the reason, or how do people usually find out about it who don't know you?
some people they've been like, oh, I got them from a friend. Friend put me on. And I always want to ask, like, who's your friend? Because I feel like there's just like one step between us and
that friend.
Yeah, that friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like a lot of it is through social media, where people just stumble upon the page, get a pair. We might have been featured in an article or a podcast or some other platform.
I was gonna say, I think it's a lot of word of mouth too, at least from the people I've asked. Somebody they've asked somebody, they probably seen somebody with them on, and you already know about the colorway being really bright. And I think going back to what you guys were mentioning about the big brands, and if it's not Nike, New Balance, then people are like, what is that? Especially if they like it, right? Like they may be a little more drawn into a shoe. They can't tell what is, but they know they like something about it. And I think that piece of the point has taken it a long way of people just being able to recognize it for not recognizing it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you find yourself shipping to Indianapolis at all ever?
We should be.
Yeah, see, look, just know if you catch them in Indianapolis, if you see a whole bunch of orders to Indianapolis, just know it was me.
I'm gonna get in the Shopify right now.
There you go. Morgan's gonna order like 10 pairs.
I'm influencing people.
Everybody playing tennis.
Yep, in a pair of points.
That I mean, that sounds like a good idea, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Put the whole team in a pair?
Put a whole team in a pair.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Looking like a rainbow. Everybody just boom, boom, boom. All together. You united. I love it.
That actually would be beautiful visually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, all those colors hopping around and moving. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. I like it. So we're getting down to the last minutes of our podcast, guys, and to our audience, to anyone that's listening, this question to both of you guys, Jream and Royce. Out of everything that we've talked about, and if we haven't talked about it, what would you want the audience to know about 99 products?
I would say first and foremost, and I think Jream already mentioned all of these points. First and foremost, we are a family. I think that goes to show the motivation that we bring to the brand and how we work together. And that we want to do things differently than the brands that are doing the things now. There's been like a certain standard set for how brands are supposed to behave, and we want to disrupt that by preaching peace and positivity. Normally things that wouldn't be quote unquote profitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what about you, Jream?
Kind of piggybacking off Royce's point.
Yeah.
I think we love shoes, but even more than shoes, we love y'all. And I think
I like that.
just everybody that has bought a pair of shoes, has liked an Instagram post, has interacted with the brand in any way, shape, or form, I think that means the world to us. And so seeing the shoes out in the world is great. I think being able to create products that are actually going to make a difference in people's lives, like the Golda, that's meant to be disassembled and will last much longer than a standard pair of glued on traditional shoes. I think that's kind of why we do what we do.
I like it. Morgan, you got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, man. Again, I know I've been saying it a lot, but when Flex put me on to you guys, and I started doing some digging, and I got the background stuff that you guys sent over, and I went through the social media. Absolutely fell in love with you guys and what you guys are doing. You guys, I mean, I think you said you're disrupting. That's 100% what you guys are doing. You're disrupting the norm of sneaker creation. You're putting people first. You're telling the stories of the everyday person. I mean, we're still talking. I mean, everybody else has moved on from the essential workers, and you guys are still talking about them, right? Like, you guys are sticking to your values, and that's just something I really respect. And the fact that you guys are doing it, you're telling your story through sneakers, to me, just makes it even better. Makes you guys even more likable. And I wish everybody could get a pair of Carvers. You know what? I saw this colorway first, and I copped it, and then I was like, I saw the other color. There's like a cream colorway, and just the depth of material in that one with the overlay, and then I think it was a mesh underlay. Just is just incredible. So you guys are extremely talented, extremely creative, and then just you've got a brand that that is fighting the good fight. So you guys are incredible in my book.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
No pun intended, but I like the way you guys are moving, because y'all moving like $1 million, $1 billion company already. Because I feel like just working with other organizations, giving back, kind of happens later on. You know, people drop a new shoe and they're kind of like, "This is our shoe, and we're gonna push it, and we're trying to get this sale." And I don't really see that across you guys' social media. It's not really like, "Oh, we're trying to get the sale, we're trying to get the sale." It's more about like, we're trying to tell a story, we're trying to bring you guys together, and we want y'all to look at the product while you're doing it. You know. So that's definitely different, it's definitely like it got my attention, and it kept my attention, You've definitely gained a fan out of me. Definitely gonna be buying some products again, shopping with you guys moving forward. And I hope you guys get the apparel going too. I think that'll be a nice little add on to you guys. I know, I mean, that's on down the line or however y'all do it, but I'm definitely excited to see what you guys bring in 2020.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate the love.
Yep, and we love samples over here. So we love
one-on-ones.
Say no more.
We love one-on-ones.
Absolutely, I promise you, I will be. I'll be all up in there, I'll be all up in the mic and the camera, so definitely but all jokes aside, man, guys, y'all need anything from us, me individually, Morgan individually, you just hit us up, man. Y'all have my personal number, so y'all can hit me up. Hey, Flex was thinking about doing this or doing that, I'm down here in North Cackalack. That's deeper in North Carolina. For the listeners, if you're from North Carolina, y'all be like, what part of North Carolina he from? That's deep in North Carolina, North Cackalack, only the real know.
Be going through hell, bro. I go through hell trying to get the subtitles right, bro. Whenever you talk, I'm making the videos. I'll be going through hell.
Man, I know you. There's no way.
Me and the
You're gonna be
subtitles,
struggling with that
bro.
one later.
Me and the subtitles, bro.
It's gonna be like North Cadillac.
Yeah, bro.
It's gonna be North Cadillac.
We're gonna be sweating, bro, trying to figure out what you said.
I love it, man. But I appreciate you guys coming on, sharing your story. For the listeners, thanks for tuning in. We hope you guys go and check out 99 Products, check out Royce, Jream, look into what they're doing. We'll tag these guys once we upload the content and
Yeah.
everything. So if you guys are trying to find them, it'll be all on the page. Soul Brothers. Y'all got any closing thoughts or remarks?
Move with meaning.
I like
Move
it.
with
Move with
meaning.
meaning.
What
I
we're
like it.
saying.
That's how we're gonna end it, guys. Move with meaning. We'll see you guys next week.